Hello and welcome to Daily Charge with Obi Daniels. We're still looking at lessons from the life of David, and today's topic is seeing through the covenant. Seeing through the covenant. Now read, during the 4th century, there was a war going on in Israel where the Israelites were fighting against the Philistines. Now there was a big and strong giant named Goliath among the Philistines. Now he told the Israelites to send a man to fight him, but no one was willing to go. So Goliath shouted for 40 days, every morning and every night, but still no one went forward. So imagine that the Israelites were on one side and the Philistines were on one side, and a guy from the camp of the Philistine, a giant, very huge guy, came out and he challenged the Israelites, and he told them, hey guys, send me your best man. Let's fight man to man. If I defeat this guy, you guys will become our slaves. But if that guy defeats me, we will all become your slave. Now Goliath was so confident of himself that no man could defeat him. And so for 40 days and 40 nights, he kept shouting, send your best man, send your best man. And not only shouting, send your best man, he kept insulting them. You know the way people would do now, insult, like, is it that you guys are weak, and rain all manner of curses on them. Now David's brothers were in the Israelite army. Now his father Jesse sent David to take food to his brothers, and he saw the giant. And so when David got there, he saw the giant shouting, and he saw how everyone was afraid of him. And David rose to the challenge and said, hey, and David rose to the challenge and said he would fight Goliath. Now at this point, his brothers, they were angry at his decisions. Now think about it. David was the youngest, and David was still a teenager, and his brothers that were older, these were able-bodied men, skilled, huge guys. They were scared of this Goliath, and yet David, being a teenager, a young boy, came to battle, saw Goliath, and had the temerity and the boldness to say that he wanted to fight with Goliath. And so that made his brothers angry. I'm like, come on, what's wrong with this stupid boy? Why would you even imagine that you could defeat this guy? Someone that none of us could. Even the king, Saul, who happened to be the tallest, the biggest in the whole of Israel, couldn't even dare this guy. Now, all of the seasoned men of war, they were bigger, they were stronger, and more experienced than David. Yet, they were all standing afraid, full of fear. But David challenged them, saying, what right does this man have to say these things? What right does he have to say these kind of things to us? Now, why would David be able to challenge the people and be able to talk that way? You see, David had a different attitude, entirely different from the whole of the army of Israel. Now, where did this attitude come from? Now, you can see it here in this scripture, 1 Samuel 17, verse 26. Now, David said, who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God? So to David, this guy is an uncircumcised Philistine. Now, it wasn't that David was just insulting Goliath, that, hey, who is this foolish guy? No, David was saying that, hey, this guy is not circumcised. Now, to us, it doesn't really make any difference whether you're circumcised or not, because it doesn't show in the face. But to David, circumcision was a sign of a covenant, meaning that anyone that was circumcised was under the covenant that God made with Abraham. And David was saying that this guy, Goliath, is not part of that covenant. So who gives him the right? What's giving him that boldness to talk to us? So to David, we have the covenant, we are bigger, we are better, we can only defeat these guys because there's someone that backs us. There is a God that backs us. And look at what he said here. He said, who is this circumcised Philistine that should defy the armies of the living God? He didn't just say, who is this guy that is insulting us? David was saying that this guy is not just defying the armies, but he's defying the armies of the living God. David did not say this guy is defying the armies of Saul, the king, but he said the armies of the living God, meaning that this guy does not have the right to do so. Neither does he have the right. He does, in fact, to them, this guy is nothing. To David, rather, is nothing. David was saying that we are superior. Why are we letting somebody who doesn't even have God on their side intimidate us? David's attitude came from the covenant, the word, and the promises of God. David was so bold that I have a covenant. So the question is, are you aware and conscious of the covenant you have with God? Do you see life through the covenant? Because if you do, you'll face life like David faced Goliath. You understand that there is nothing that can defeat you. You understand that you have God on the inside of you. You understand that you have God backing you. So I want to ask you, do you see through the covenant, or do you see yourself the way every other person sees themselves? Do you see that you have a God that is backing you? Do you see yourself as a child of God, that anything that affects you affects him? Do you see yourself that God has given his angels charge over you, that they watch you, they keep in all your ways? Do you see yourself that way? Or do you see yourself like every other person? To David, no, we are more superior than this guy. To David, this guy may be a giant, maybe stronger, bigger than me, but you see, I will defeat him because I have a God that backs me. What a mindset. What a mindset. I want to encourage you today. Take time and meditate on what I've just said and begin to walk with a consciousness of the covenant you have on the inside. Tomorrow we'll talk more on this. Thank you for listening. If this has been a blessing, smash that like button, drop a comment, appreciate, say thank you. Ask a question if you have one, contribute if you want to contribute, and let's engage. And also, if you're not subscribing to the channel, if you're not following me, please do so, and let's get this video viral. Let's get more people to be part of it so more people can be blessed and walk in the covenant. Thank you very much. God bless you, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.